Every time they see me pull up, everybody say mashallah. Catch me on the flight, you not gonna catch me on the corner. Tryna make this team, me not gonna mix up in the drama. They chatty blah blah, messing with my karma.
Back to the channel, welcome to another video. So in this video I'm going to be installing heated seats into the car. I got a kit from eBay, it cost £20, it came with the heating pads, switches and all the wiring. So the first step in this install is to take your seats out so that you can put the heating element inside. If you're new to the channel, this is a car channel, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Okay, let's get on to step 1 and put the heating elements into the seats. Now that we've got the heating elements in the seats, we can do the wiring inside the car. So let's go ahead and do that. Yeah. So this is the fuse diagram. It tells you what fuses are where. I'm not going to touch any of these on the left hand side, like ECU, gauge, turn, fan, all this. Like, you don't want to mess with any of that. OBD, I don't want to touch that either. So I've got the fuse tap. That's up here. So all I really need to do is plug this in, put the fuse for the heated seats here, and then if I was replacing a fuse, I'd put it there. But I'm just going to start taking the center console off so that I can run the wiring through it and have the buttons there as well. Okay, so this fuse tap, it's working fine. The only thing is I want to run it underneath here. I've taken this trim off here. That's just further back. So I want to run it underneath here, but it's just this wire isn't long enough and it's a bit awkward to work with, and I don't want it coming out this way, I want it behind. So I'm just going to crimp connect a wire there so that I can start working around here. Okay, so as you can see, I've crimp connected that, and that's pretty solid. Okay, so all I've done now is from this wire that's going to the wire tap, I've crimp connected the two inline fuses. So you'll have 15 amps going through here and then 7.5 through each one to power up each seat. I have no idea if this is right because the instructions aren't that clear, but we'll test it out and see if it works. Okay, so you join me now. I've done all the wiring and I'll just quickly talk you through it and then show you. So fuse tap comes here, goes through these fuses and to these two black wires here, and these wires are running underneath the carpet and they come out here, and then one goes to power this heated seat, one goes round here to power that heated seat, and then I've got a wire here that's the ground, and that will be connected to the bolt. There's a wee connector there, and as you can see, one of the buttons is lighting up. And the other button, lighting up as well. And all I've done is just fed that part of the harnessing through a hole that I cut up to there, and that will go into the dash and then through there. So that's the wiring. It wasn't actually too difficult in the end because they give you all the stuff. They give you the full harness. That really all you have to do is just really connect ground and power and run it from the fuse box. So what I'm going to do now is get some cable ties, clean up all the wiring, and yeah, tighten things up, give it a hoover, and then the seats will go back in. Okay, so I've hoovered the interior and I've just tucked all the wiring into this conduit sort of stuff. I got this on eBay as well. So literally everything that I'm using is from eBay, and yeah, that side's all tucked in as well. So you've literally just got the two connectors and the two connectors now, and everything's all kind of tidied up a wee bit. So all I need to do now is put the center console back in and the buttons, so I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so that's the buttons in. I kind of messed this hole up, this one was okay. So if we look on the reverse side, I've just kind of wrapped them in tape so they fit a bit more snugly into the holes, and then I've just cable tied it along here, and this is where it will connect up to the wiring harness. So this is ready to go back in. Okay, so I've just put the battery in. Hopefully no electronics have been messed up too badly. We've got the buttons down here, there and there, the two buttons. Yeah, so I'm just going to turn the ignition on. Okay, so now the test is, do the buttons light up? Yes. Yep, they both light up. So they're working. So that was the seats installed, and I tested them out after, and they worked perfectly. So I would highly recommend this. I'll leave all the links that I used in the description. I think I bought a fuse tab, some extra wiring and some connectors. I also re-edited this video, so I've got a longer version that goes a bit more in depth. If you're interested in that, just so you can see some steps a bit more clearly when I was taking the seats apart, I'll leave a link for that in the description. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and peace.